Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for next week, starting the 25th. I'm putting the weekly readings out a bit earlier, so here we go. We're going to get right into it with Aries. So this is the week starting Saturday coming. And just to see what your next week is going to be like, let's go ahead and pull out your romance angel messages and see what messages they have for your next week. Just to see, a little bit deeper into the nature of your personal relationships. Straight out, we have deception. And we have forgiving and learning. And Aries, we have true love. So this week is really a lot going on for you, right? This coming week is definitely going to be a feeling of different sort of energies for different Aries. Let's pull out your animal spirits. Some of you may resonate with multiple messages or just one of them. But let's just see. We're going to see when we get into your spread what these messages mean for you. Let's just go ahead and pull out your animal spirits. Your animal spirits can really indicate extra energies that are becoming available to you or people that you're dealing with, right? So let's just see what extra animal spirits may be in your life this week. All right, Aries, we have the mouse. Beautiful energy. Oftentimes overworked though, right? The mouse gets very caught up. It's earth energy, but it can get very caught up in the details. We have the elk. This is the great card for the father. Strong masculine energy. And then we have the nightingale. Air energy associated with those who have a talent for public speaking, songwriting, expressing themselves through words. Now the mouse, as I said, it is a beautiful energy. The mouse is very hardworking and very sort of concentrated. However, the mouse is one of these creatures and one of these energies that tends to come in when we have gotten a little bit lost in the details. Sometimes mouse energy can feel like that. It can feel like perhaps if you've been working on something, Aries, and you've been kind of getting caught up in the minutia of it, then a little bit of this energy has started to come in, and it's really time to take a step back perhaps and gain some perspective on the broader picture of what you're trying to achieve, But nevertheless, the mouse is very hardworking and is at a time in our lives when perhaps we need to be task-orientated. The mouse is that way, task-orientated, detail-orientated, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Just take care not to get overwhelmed with it all. Now, the elk is the card for the father in the deck. This is the animal spirit for the protector. The wise one is the strong, masculine earth energy. The elk can oftentimes be a little bit domineering, right? Can get a little bit arrogant and egotistical simply by the nature of his being always, the final word. He's the one who's head of the household. This is certainly a very dominant person. And this is a strong energy. Some of you may be dealing with father issues this week. You may be dealing with family learning, family healing, maybe embodying some of this energy. Or maybe you're standing up to a father figure who has been a little bit overbearing or over-domineering. Whatever the case may be, elk energy for some of you is definitely coming in as an energy this week that's around you. Now, the nightingale is air energy, and the nightingale is associated with those of us who have a talent for speaking, storytelling, expressing ourselves in words, whether that be poetry or in writing or even in song. Obviously, in song, those of us who have a talent for singing and really expressing our emotions and our thoughts and feelings through that medium. The nightingale is also in general an energy that comes into our lives when we feel like something we have to say is very, we have something very important on our chest that we need to get out. Something we want to say needs to come out or needs to be said. And we're feeling very strong about sort of, giving rise to our desire to communicate. It is done in a very beautiful sort of way, though, and definitely in a healing way. And this could also be energy coming in for forgiving and learning. All right, Aries, let's pull out your forecast for the week to see what you may or may not be dealing with this week. And of course, you may or may not resonate with these forecasts. They are intended to be separate from each other. So just take what applies to you. And if it doesn't apply, just let it go. Straight out, we have Ace of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Some of you are coming into this week and you've started a new love connection with someone, right? There's an opportunity for love that has either come in the past week or that is coming in for you now. And you're really sort of being met with a Knight of Wands energy in the sense that I feel like somebody's coming in for you. Right, Aries? This feels very much like someone, this Knight of Wands is someone who's coming for you, who has their eye on you. They're very ambitious. They're extremely creative, obviously, and fiery. But this whole love connection is very much happening on their terms. It feels like you're the one who's kind of being hunted by them. And this week, it's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of them coming after you. They may be trying to take you out to dinner. They may be trying to talk to you or get a deeper conversation going with you. By the end of the week, it's interesting. You resonate with a Page of Wands energy, and it's quite interesting that you feel very idealistic about the whole thing, like you're willing to give caution, throw caution to the wind. And I wonder if the reason why this reading is even coming up for you, Aries, is because this Knight of Wands individual may be somebody who's a little bit different than what you're normally used to. They may be the type of individual that on the surface you would not have wanted to get involved with, because it's interesting that by the end of the week, Page of Wands is the energy that you have. And Page of Wands is really about overcoming fear and sort of, you know, being willing to be much more adventurous, being, you know, being much more courageous about following your heart and your passion, right? Having overcome that feeling of needing anybody else's approval, right? It's a very idealistic, sort of strong, forward-moving energy. And it feels like this whole connection with this individual is something like perhaps for whoever's resonating with this, it serves as almost a hurdle that you're getting over. For some reason or another, maybe the type of person this is, or just the nature of the relationship. It's something that to you poses a little bit of an adventure, and also marks the end of you being a bit fearful, perhaps in your love life, or fearful to take chances. It's a very nice energy. Four of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. So some of you are coming into this week, you do have a little bit of worry about money. And you're wondering about your money being stable enough for you to move forward with what you're trying to do, right? So Four of Pentacles is really a feeling of perhaps your finances feeling like they may be threatened a little bit. It could be just worrying that you have enough financial stability to move forward with your plans. You're just worrying a little bit. There could be something going on at work. But nevertheless, you're met with a Ten of Cups energy, which is really nice in the sense that although you may be worried about finances this week, the love that you have and the support that you have around you from family and friends is really going to come in and complete you. It could be that just when you needed someone the most, or when you need some support the most, this sort of love for you that's coming in is coming at the perfect time. And not only that, it is bringing a sense of opportunity with it. I think for some of you, you may indeed be going through a healing process with family members or relationships. And part of that healing process is kind of bringing you back into the fold and allowing you to sort of tap into perhaps some of the financial stability that that family has. It's almost as if for some of you, you may have been struggling on your own for quite some time. You may come from, let's say, a family that has a lot of money or financial stability or, connections, right? And so this week it almost feels like for some of you who are going through a family healing process, now that you're sort of back into the family, now that perhaps some of the bridges have been mended and the communication has been fixed, you resonate up to a Ten of Cups, which is a sense of completion, right? Everybody's back together and happy. But it also marks the end of a bunch of really bad luck for you, because you've been having to sort of take care of everything on your own without the help of your family. And so it almost feels as though this coming back together, this union here, brings all of this sort of opportunity and good luck back into your life. You are now able to sort of make use of some of perhaps the family connections or what have you, or whatever good luck this union brings into you. And I think it's just going to have an impact on your finances. Could be that for quite some time you've been the one taking care of the family all on your own. It's really been stretched. You've been going through a lot of struggle. And again, because of family healing, you're beginning to get some support coming in, and it feels as though, once again, your luck has changed. It's a very nice healing and yet increase to abundance feeling. Three of Pentacles, Death, and Temperance. So for some of you, Aries, Three of Pentacles is coming in for you. And it's an increase in work, right? It seems to be that at work, you're definitely getting a lot more attention for your work. It could be that more and more people are asking you to be part of their team. They may be requesting your work out of, your peers. They may be requesting your services more and more. In any case, you're beginning to get just a lot more attention in your field, and perhaps even a lot more business if you have a business that you're running. And it just feels like there's an added layer or added dimension that's starting to come into your career or that area in your life where you make money. You do come into a week where there is a lot of transformation happening with that death energy. So it seems that you are going through a lot of changes. And I'm going to say these changes are definitely impacting your job in some way, right? Your job is right now the focus of your mind, and this transformation that's coming in, death always kind of clears away the old. It could be that for some of you, you may be about to change the way you work or where you work or how you work in a real fundamental way. You may be just like really clearing out a lot of the old and really getting into a new stage in your career. And so you're having to be very tempered. You're rounding the week off with Temperance energy, Aries, and that really seems to indicate that this is an emotional period for you. For some of you, you may indeed have been working really hard, and now you're getting a certain promotion, and you're not going to be working in the same environment that you were at before. Or everything has fundamentally changed about your position, your job. Whatever that transformation is, it does seem to indicate that there's a lot of emotions involved, because you are finding yourself having to be very tempered, right? And so not reacting too much. And I think that is just you really trying to make the best of a difficult transition. Some of you are indeed having a difficult transition at work. But remember, transformation like death always comes in at a time that we need it. And it certainly comes in at a time when there's been stagnation, there hasn't been any growth. It's time to kill off all of the old, fertilize the ground, and kind of sort of make room for new growth. So even though sometimes it comes with a lot of difficulty, right, and growing pains, as it were, this transformation is always necessary. And how you're handling it with this Temperance is very good. I think when all the dust settles, you're going to find yourself in a position where you're able to get much more perspective of what you're doing. It could be mouse energy, at play, that right now things have gotten kind of a little bit chaotic and out of hand. And so this change needed to come in to sort of get new perspective and everything on your work situation. And again, handling it with Temperance energy is the best thing you can do right now, because you can't stop death. When death comes in with the tarot, it's not a physical death, but nonetheless the card still has that same sort of energy, in the sense that it can't be stopped. So transformation and change is coming nevertheless. So it's better to get ahead of it and to be sort of in control while you're going through it. I'm going to pull one more. Judgment, Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So some of you are certainly coming in this week with a feeling of reconciliation. I'm going to say that for some of you, this is again a feeling of forgiving and learning, a feeling of wanting to express yourself with this Nightingale energy as well. Some of you, as a result of recent experiences, you begin to sort of loosen your sort of, judgment. You loosen your sort of hypercriticism, loosen sort of some of the hard sort of lines that you've taken, or hard positions that you've taken. And, the experiences of life have really allowed you to sort of get a bit more compassionate, grow a bit more empathetic. And there are certain situations that you're reviewing, I think, or certain connections with people that you're reviewing that you really want to revisit. You may be wanting to mend some bridges. You may be wanting to open up communication again. You have something on your chest that you really want to get off your chest and say to someone. Judgment is all about that, and it certainly comes in usually after a period of having had a lot of different personal experiences that have allowed us to sort of realize that we've been looking at life way too much as black and white, and beginning to just understand that everybody has a perspective. And then sometimes looking at a situation through other people's point of view can really help to understand why they behaved the way they did, or it can certainly help you to have more empathy for their position and to not be completely at odds. And this is all of the feelings that you're feeling this week. You know, for some of you, you're feeling very much like there was perhaps a friendship, I think, that was very important to you, but that perhaps fell out as a result of all of this. And you're met with a Queen of Wands energy, and I want to say that it's very much a feeling that someone in your life is probably resonating with that Queen of Wands energy. And this is someone who's probably very wise. You've always had a lot of respect for them. But you guys are also equals in a lot of ways because you resonate with the Queen of Pentacles. And it could be vice versa, but in any case, the Queen of Wands is generally the one oftentimes, you know, that has a lot of wisdom to impart, but sometimes she can be a little bit rough about it. Sometimes, you know, her wisdom isn't easily taken, you know, but she does it out of your own good. She does it for your betterment, but she can be difficult to take sometimes. She can rub you the wrong way. She's she's water or fire. So this is someone who's generally very emotional, very fiery. And you, however, you, like I say, you could be resonating vice versa, but you, the other person in this dynamic, is Queen of Pentacles, and you're very much about your work and being very practical, yet you also are quite sentimental and emotional at times, right? So here we have the watery aspect of Earth, and so, you know, yes, your career is important to you, you know, making sure that you put all of your energy and emotions, you're always emotionally invested in anything that you're trying to accomplish. Yet at the same time, it feels like the two of you, although you're just as powerful as each other and resonate with that same very strong feminine energy, you have been at odds with each other perhaps. Maybe one has given the other one advice that the other one didn't want to take. In any case, this coming week, you feel like you want to really reconcile. There's definitely a feeling of wanting to find some reconciliation here. There's also a feeling that you just miss each other. You miss spending time with each other. You miss your friendship. And there's a strong sort of desire, I think, on both parts to really come together and to heal this rift. All right, Aries, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your weekly reading for January 25th all the way up to the 31st. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know how you feel about these readings coming out earlier. I think it might be better to begin to have next week's readings out a little bit earlier in the week rather than just the last day of the week. And so there you have it. But in any case, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you want to get a private reading, go ahead and follow those links at the top of your screen. But for right now, Aries, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I shall see you the following week for your weeklies. Bye-bye.